Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Welcome to another episode. So this is something that I was asked to do, and uh, I was reading the comments, and some brothers did contact me, and they were like, you need to do more stuff like this, and also, just personalize it a bit, and just to add some confessions and from brothers that spoke to me, or some elements of my story as well, but without saying whose story it is, because we don't want to be held accountable at any time or any day for whatever we say. Of course, of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and if anyone wants to come forward with the truth, we're always ready to combat the falsehood with the truth, nothing but the truth. And this is the work of the prophets and the work of the righteous people, that they put themselves out of the equation, and they just talk about the truth. Yeah, bring evidence. Yeah, don't talk out of your desires, don't talk out of what your grandfathers taught you, don't talk about all of this stories and myths that you've learned through your culture and stuff like that, and all this justified anxiety that is being shared in your community, and all your justifications, and for what you're doing. We want to bring truth, we want to bring honesty, we want to bring a personal element to this, inshallah. So today's episode will be about just some confessions, inshallah. So a brother, so once upon a time, a brother was going through whatever he was going through, uh, and basically his partner said that he hit me, and he did this, and he did this, and he did this. And the brother went to court, and after he went to court, he came back, and he's singing about all the oppression, and he's singing about what sisters are doing nowadays, and domestic violence, and they're using this to get that, and I would never hit her and do this or do that. So someone read his paperwork and what allegations mom's got against him, and this guy, the one that is reading it to give advice, he was like to that brother, to that perpetrator, he said to him, like, just leave the joke on the side. Yani, as how this, wallahi, this is how we talk, is like in the level. Yeah, did you really do this? Yeah, did you really, let's say, yeah, did you really punch her? Yeah, she said you punched her. Is that true? Did you really do that? And the brother was like, it's not really a punch, man. Like, it does, like, what I did was this, and like what he said blatantly is something that should not be done in the West, and you should know better. Yeah. So the brother now, I think he moved on, and he knows that anything he might do or say may be used as evidence. And another story that happened. It was a brother, and he went to see his children, and basically, so like, I don't know if you know this. Like in the UK, we've got these houses that are, they're close to each other, and when you press the bell, you probably can, so you're facing the door, you're pressing the bell, and then the toilet is right next to you, and the kitchen is on the other side. So it's very small houses, especially council estates. So this brother said, look, like normally what I would do is I would press the bell and I would run, because I don't want to hear them saying, oh, here he is, or because they won't be happy for that man to come and see his children, so they will always say something. So he says, out of good manners, I always press the bell, and I sort of stay outside the front bit of the house. So he said, so this time now, her brother came, and he's bringing the children, and he's saying, come and get them. So the father said, no, you bring them to me. So if you can imagine, so the uncle is holding them in front of the house, and the father is saying that it was strange, because the way he's holding them is like it's a setup. So he walked towards the children, and that's when his mother-in-law came out. She came out, and he didn't see her since the divorce for about a year and a half, he said. And he said, subhanAllah, her face changed. And maybe because she's angry, maybe it's because it's 1 year and a half, or maybe her true color showed up. And he was like, Salaam alaikum. And she said, you know, La salam, yeah? So no salam to you, yeah? And that's very bad, because the word salam alaikum means peace be upon you. So you coming as a Muslim saying to other Muslims, Assalamu alaikum. That means you're not gonna say Assalamu alaikum, give me a jewelry, or Assalamu alaikum, I'm gonna bust you up. Assalamu alaikum means it's sa'ad, it's an oath that you took to say to this tribe or to these people that I'm not coming with harm. So to be honest, that brother means what he says when he says Assalamu alaikum. So he said Salam alaikum, and she said there's no salam, and he was like, why do you say that? And she was like, oh, it was a black day or a dark day when you came to our house, i.e. the marriage. So the guy, he said, I lost that night, and he said it was a white day or a bright day when I left the house. And then it escalated, and then a man was there moving houses, and he said to this guy, come, let me talk to you. And the father was so angry. He said to him, why? What do you want? What do you want? He said, come, let me talk to you. And let me talk to you. And he said, why are you here? He said, I'm here to see my children. He said, so this is your mother-in-law, and this is your children, and you've divorced your wife, right? He said, yes. He said to him, listen to me, son, yeah? Can you see these kids? This is my son. He's 20, and he's carrying the mattress with his other brother, and they came from the second marriage. You look like a good brother. Move on. Don't look back. And he said, what do you mean? How could you tell me this? This is my children. He said to him, don't look back. I can see that this family wants to put you in jail. They want to imprison you. And the brother was like, السجن أحب إلي. This is what Sayyidina Yusuf said. He said that, prison is, أحب إلي, is more beloved to me than what they're asking me to do, basically, which is the action that he was asked to do, the haram action. And so the man was like, you know what, but not السجن أحب إليك. I know prison is more beloved to you, but not for this family. He said to him, I don't know you and I don't know this family, but this family is not worth it. And since then, this brother says that their ongoing, fake accusations and reporting it to the police, reporting it, reporting to the police and lying and escalating things and plotting didn't stop. So subhanAllah, so again, this is something that you need to be very careful of. If that family starts showing certain traits, don't wait. Don't say Sayyidina Habili, because I think some of the people of tafsir were like, if Yusuf wasn't to say that, it wouldn't have happened. So this is why you should always have a good, always say the good, because sometimes it could be accepted. Yeah. So you might say, Sayyidina Habili, his prison is more beloved to me, and then you get jail because it's more beloved to you, isn't it? Allah is giving you what you asked for. And Allah is more merciful to us, and Allah will not do something unless it's got wisdom. But again, just move on. Now, the other thing I want to mention is why these things even start. Okay, it's because if you look at why this ex-partner is not making you see the children, it's not because what you did, and don't take it upon yourself and think it's because of me. I should have played the game better. I should have learned. I should have asked. I should have looked for a mentor. I should have went counseling. I should have went to a mediator. I shouldn't have said talaq or divorce. No. Go back a bit. You will see that this person have the same traits when it comes to, let's say they don't want to give you access to your children today. You go back, you'll find that she doesn't want to give you access so your children can go into to your mom's house, even in Eid. She will always come with excuses. If you go back, you'll find that this woman does not want to give you the right to choose the child's name. Yeah, she's saying, no, I don't want to choose that name, and because you know what I'm saying. If you go a bit back, you will see that she's someone that, or her family, they would say something as a condition of marriage. like let's say, if you want to marry our dua, or if you want to marry me, you need to give me this, and then you ask for something, but then they don't fulfill their condition, and you see, you just keep going back and back and back, and it might go, it might be, a condition from childhood, yeah, an underlying condition from her childhood, yeah. Or it might be from your childhood if you're the wrong. But this channel is not about talking that we're in the wrong. Yeah, I think sisters should do this and talk about brothers that are in the wrong. So I'm saying, if the brother's on the right and he's being oppressed and he's being victimized, sometimes it's not because of you, bro. A majority of the time, it's not because of you. It's because this person. This is what this is something that the family should have worked on their daughter, and the girl. When she grows up, I mean, she's responsible for herself, and especially for self-development and self-discovery and self-actualization. And yeah, man, like you shouldn't bring kids to this world if you're not responsible enough, and that's the challenge that we've got now. Now, another thing is when you get divorced, there's this Islamic divorce, and there's this if you're married legally in the UK, so that's another mess as well. So what tends to happen is families tend to hide the alienation cards until the brother gives the Islamic divorce, because the rest is history, Yeah. So it's just a matter of what ground of divorce do you want. It was domestic violence, was it adultery, was it unreasonable behavior, was it this, was it that, and it's just a matter of ticking boxes, and she'll get her divorce. But Islamically, it's a bit hard, isn't it? Yeah. So what happened to one brother is they laid low. Yeah, they laid very low. Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, can you not divorce our daughter until we take her on holiday?" So, and that's documented. Yeah. So the brother, when this conversation happened and they needed to take their daughter on a holiday, and they're begging the ex, "Can you not divorce her until she comes back for a holiday?" So he said, "Okay, cool. I will, consider her emotions." And as soon as she came back, they asked, okay, so she got her Islamic divorce. So the brother's saying that the conversation used to be like, Jazakallah khair for coming and seeing the children. And can I just ask you a favor, please? When you bring toys, let's say you've got two girls, yeah? You've got, Fatma and Zainab. Fatma is older, yeah? So, next time when you bring a phone, or let's say a Barbie for Fatma, bring it as well for Zainab. I know Zainab is only 2, but she feels it, and jealousy and stuff like that. So the conversation was along these lines, very mature, very child focused. You'd be like, whoa, if this continues like this, we'll probably get back in no time. So he said, as soon as I gave the Islamic divorce, I received an email from a solicitor. Yeah. He said, I received an email from a solicitor saying to me, this is the contact agreement in order for you to see the children. So before it was, see the children, but we need to really, have an agreement, because, we want to have, set ground, so the children know when their dad is coming and when he can't come. So there's a bit of a system. So it's all child-led, right? It's all child-focused, yeah? Sorry, child-focused, not child-led. And then what happened there? You can't deny that everyone needs to be organized. Of course, this is my days off, and this is when I'm available. But obviously, if there's something that way, of course, if you need to see them more, you're the dad and everything. So as soon as the Islamic divorce happened, whoa, that was the magic wand for mom, and that's when he received the email. So his contact agreement. I was actually honored to see it. Yeah, and it's actually on Facebook. Yeah, so I'm actually going on Facebook now to read exactly word to word what this guy was asked to sign. Otherwise, he's not going to see the children. Yeah. So, okay, here it is. So the agreement is between mother, okay, on one part and the father on the other part. The mother shall make, number one, the mother shall make the children available for contact with father as follows. A, every Saturday between the hours of blah, 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 yeah? So it was only 2 hours, and this guy doesn't live in the same city as the children, yeah? So that was unfair, and that was drafted in, just months after divorce, after the Islamic divorce. B, the father is to collect and drop the children where? At the mother's or maternal grandmother home. So you can see here that, okay, the collection point and the drop-in is either my house or my mom's house, yeah? So your mother-in-law, yeah? And again, okay, do you really want to do that? Okay, yeah, of course, because at the end of the day, where are you going to collect the children from, You need to collect them from somewhere. Okay, cool. Point number 2, yeah? During contact, the father will not take the children to his family home or introduce them to unfamiliar family members without the mother being present. Now, in the agreement, it says the name, but this person crossed it out and wrote the mother. So imagine here, this mum has got custody of the children or residency that was given to her by father. He entrusted her by giving her this. And then what she did is she said he can only see them for 2 hours every 2 weeks and can only collect them from my house or my mom's house. Okay, fair enough. Let's start off this. Let's start slow and then we'll build up. Okay, when there's more availability for me, I will come and ask. Okay, it could have been every week, but again, I live in another city or they live in another city. So, the father can accommodate these things, yeah? And some fathers, they do regret agreeing to weekly because, it's tiring because they do get, their work hours change and whatever, yeah? So point number 2 is what really exposes this proposal, yeah? Or this so-called agreement, yeah? That number 2 says during the contact the father will not take the children to his family home. I think that is sinful. That is, for you to put it there blatantly, yeah, and expect the father to sign on this. I don't think you understand who this man is, yeah? Okay, or introduce them to unfamiliar family members. What does that mean? And to introducing them to unfamiliar family members. So if they're family members, how could they be unfamiliar? And if they are unfamiliar to you, then so what? You are introducing them to your new man. You're introducing them to a new man that can lay in bed with you, yeah, and and he can, and the father can walk in the house as much as he wants. The new partner, he can hug them. He can introduce them to his mom, to his brothers. They can attend the wedding, and So what gives you the right? Okay, what gives you the right to do this and then say that the father is not allowed to introduce him to unfamiliar family members without the mother being present? So is this man expected to see them only 2 hours every 2 weeks and not take them to their mom's house? And if he walks on road, he's supposed to cross the road. If he sees any of his friends, so he can't even say to his friend, "Oh my God, I ain't seen you since college or since uni. Oh my God, this is my you, bro. That was what? Are you married now?" He's not even allowed to do that. He's not allowed to go anywhere. Even Eid, even if it's he wants to go to the Christmas, or Wonderland in Hyde Park, he's not allowed to do that because there will be unfamiliar family members there, and he can't drag you as his ex because obviously he can't handle you. You can't handle him. So it's a very bad contact agreement that was drafted. and that was sent by a solicitor. I mean, that is not professional. And then number 3, it says the mother agrees to the above. Oh, mashallah, let's clap to the mother for agreeing. Okay, on the above contact on the basis that father assists the mother in caring for the children in emergency situations. Now, the father has to, so the mom will agree to all of this as long as the father, okay, assist in the mother in case, okay, when she's caring for the children in emergency situations. Okay, now the word emergency situations could be anything. Could be, they're going to hospital, they're going. So the word emergency could be anything. She's got a wedding, she wants to watch Match of the Day. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what is her emergency, and what is that got to do with me? My contact is my contact time, and my visitation is my visitation time. I get that regardless. Why are you limiting it to me answering you, being there for you in case of emergency for the children? Yeah. Okay. So obviously I'm going to react. As a father, anyone would react to his children's emergency. He would leave everything that he's got. Work will allow him. Anyone will allow him. So why are you making it a condition like he doesn't know what is an emergency? And then it says, in caring for the children in emergency situations and contributing equally towards the cost of therapy for the children. Yeah, so that's something to do with, is this, so sometime I would say, oh, I don't want to treat myself through the NHS. I want to go to Harley Street, or I want to go to Egypt, or I want to, use, Islamic medicine, and who is making these assessments? Is it mom? Yeah. So feel me, yeah. No father will say no to contributing equally and even more. And we know who contributes more in every relationship. Yeah. Some relationships, moms have more earning, but they don't say, oh, okay, because I do more than you, then you don't get the same rights as me. This is a provision from Allah. And to say that you have to, contribute equally to the cost. So what if I'm contributing more than you? Because obviously you're on a state benefit, or you're working, or I've got a better profession than you. Does that make you less of a stakeholder? Does that make you lose your motherhood? No, it doesn't. So stuff that is mentioned in this agreement is unlawful. So this document is to show the intention of both parties at the time of signing this blah blah blah. So this, look, let me just say something here. This agreement is drafted by a solicitor, but a solicitor's job, okay, is to get as much ground before going to court. So you can be in a very strong situation, but because you don't know the law, and because they've got a solicitor, their solicitors will advise them that don't watch that. If we can just get him to sign on these dots, yeah. If he signs on this dot, he roll off his kids, yeah, and he can only go to court to see them anything more than 2 hours. And hold on, even if you don't want him to see him for 2 hours, okay, he cannot take them to his mom's house, which is family house. Okay, he cannot introduce them to unfamiliar family members, which means maybe when he gets married, he can't introduce them to the new partner. Okay, so basically he is just running a session. He is just got a 2-week, a session every 2 weeks of his children, that he's only supposed to see them in your area, okay, regardless and wherever the weather. And then even if he's adhered to all of this and you still don't want him to see, he has to come to emergency, and he has to contribute equally to the cost of therapy. So if you come tomorrow, okay, and say, oh, I want to take the children to the Himalayas, and I want to take them to this guru in Nepal, or I want to take them to to smoke this toad in South America and give them this majestic experience. And you have to contribute because you've signed, and you will go to masajid. And I've been to masajid, wallahi, with sisters, not brothers, with sisters that have been oppressed, and I went there to just decode the oppression that's been written on them. And that doctor, whatever, that doctor of this masjid, and I don't want to mention the masjid's name, he was like, al-mu'mineen ala shurutihim, that the believers should fulfill the conditions that they've agreed upon. And I was like, whoa, even if this person is da'if and ignorant, even if this person is weak and ignorant, not every woman is weak and ignorant, but this woman specifically was ignorant because she was married to someone that brought her to this land, and she knows nothing about the law of the land. And she was in a very vulnerable position, and she was being blackmailed. And I was like, look, what you're doing is blackmail. You are part of this blackmail. And blackmail in the UK is up to 14 years in prison. So I don't want to take long in this, but this is some of the parental alienation confessions from the brothers. One of the brothers, he got married. So this brother, he was from one of the biggest Salafi mosques in Birmingham. So I mean, look at the biggest mosque, Salafi mosque. Yeah, okay. And it's not Green Lane, and it's one of the biggest. I think it's one of the biggest Salafiyya movement in Birmingham. And he got divorced from his Salafi wife. And the reason why I mentioned Salafiyya, obviously I've got whatever against them or with them, that's another issue. But it's because it's very difficult for a Salafi sister to do this, because قال الله قال رسول, you're not a person of tribalism or Hizbiyya. You're someone that follows what the Quran says and the Sunnah and the Salaf al-Salih. Even to have a second wife around the Salafiyya followers. If the woman says no to that, or if she shows any aggression towards it, I mean, she's not. The Salaf never reacted like this. Where did you bring this reaction from? So it was quite shocking to me to see him and her in court. And I was like, brother, you're both Salafis though. He said, look, when it comes to divorce, there's no Salafiyya. Yeah. And basically when he went there, she didn't want to show him the kids because of what? So the judge said, why is it that you don't want to show him the kids? And because she gave one of the maddest excuses, and because the guy's got a new pet in the house, yeah, and she didn't want the kids around the pet. So basically the judge ordered that they can't come to court again, and they have to go to court in order to come to court. And I was laughing, and like, this is mad, because you become a fitna lilladhina kafaru. We became pests to these people. So anyway, I'm giving you all of these things to know, that these variants of alienation can come in different shapes and forms, and it can come because you've got a new pet in the house, or it can come because you've got a new wife, or it can come because it's under underlying condition, something that happened to her childhood, or because she wants to dominate, and it's because it's something that they want to get you back. Sometimes the ex-partner cannot communicate their love to you, and they can only communicate it through abusing like that. Like majority of domestic issues, beating up the woman or rape, it's because of love that cannot be acquired, or it's because love that cannot be taken out in a normal way. I mean, some I don't want to get into this because I don't want to get into the mind of these abusers, but this is what the studies show. So anyway, inshallah, we'll leave it there, and I just did this, so sometime I'll start to do back-to-back episodes, because I feel like I got a backlog of issues that I need to share, inshallah. And maybe in the future we can start including some brothers or sisters, inshallah, to share their stories. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to benefit us and to give us wisdom, inshallah, in what we do and say, and to give us sincerity. And we leave it there, brothers and sisters. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.